Now here is a face and a name you may not have heard recently. But I'll say salute. Salute is Iggy Azalea. Uh, for all the 2.5 Iggy Azalea fans that might be disappointed by this, is Iggy Azalea quitting music? Rap announced that she is no longer going to finish her album. Well, if you're looking forward to hearing new music from Iggy Azalea, then you may be a little bit disappointed by this news. The rapper announced that she will be taking a break from music in a heartfelt address to her fans. She revealed that her passion for music has waned, leading her to make a difficult decision to not finish her forthcoming album. Let's see what she had to say. Spoiler, it's a lot. But they did do the very kind-hearted thing to say, this is going to be long. I'm only bother reading if you love me. A lot of people will
Can
make
we keep it pushing?
No, stop it. A lot of people will make these rant posts and go on these long like journals online when like nobody's reading all that. But here on this podcast, we unfortunately will be reading all that. Not all of it, but if you, they even go as far as say, if you still bother anyways, you're a weirdo who has been warned. You know, how can you not, like, there are some people like, you gotta like their personality at least. Anyway. I've always been someone who finds my joy in being creative and seeing my ideas come to life. For a long time, I used music to deliver my big, crazy ideas to the world. I know a lot of people have this idea that I was bullied away from music. That's something I've always laughed at because I've never been bullied at anything. In fact, I'm too stubborn. I think I've even resisted changes within myself at times purely because I don't like being viewed as someone who quits. In truth, what I've known for a long time is that I feel more passionate about design and creative direction than I do about songwriting. To many of you, that's a shock. It's no shock to read. It shows in my work. Haha. Joke aside, I do spend a lot more of my time on that. That's why I want to let you know that I'm not going to finish my album. It's been on pause for a few months while I was giving direction on a few different projects, and I haven't felt the urge to go back at it. I feel really happy and passionate every day, or in my day-to-day life. When my mind's focused on that, so I want to stick to undeniably best in me. I can't wait to start sharing some of the things I've been involved with, covering career. I know some of my fans will probably makes you feel a little deflated. I'm sorry to let you down, but it's more important I don't let myself down. I hope you all understand. Talk to you soon. I love you. There you go. That's her. What else is there in this post? That's the end of it, right? Take a look at her hit songs. Okay, you can go back to the post. Yeah. So Iggy Azalea put out this long heartfelt post about how, her passion doesn't necessarily lie in music creation and songwriting. It lies with other places, and they are losing, if not lost, the urge to create new music or finish the product that they've started. And the reason why I bring any of this up is not to like come in here and shit on Iggy Azalea or make it fun, even though if y'all got jokes, I'm here for it. I'm more so interested in the aspect of, we have talked many times about like artists retiring. I think even Drake, at some one point in time, like mentioned how he can like quote unquote envision a time where he's like moving away from music. And I think, since he's somebody that everybody loves, everybody's like, hey, I'm super sad about this, or don't do that. But when it's somebody who maybe wasn't the person that everyone loves, they are probably getting a lot of comments about how, hey, all right, well, good, it's time to hang it up. And that's an interesting dynamic in itself. But I guess I'm interested to know what y'all think. What do y'all think about this idea that somebody could really retire, especially if they make a post like this? Do you believe it? And is there any part of you that would want a certain person to retire if maybe you don't really have a high level of interest in them and or disdain? We'll start with you, Ghost. What do you think?
I mean, I was a pretty big Iggy Azalea hater. Not gonna lie. But I am more than fine with this not just because she's not gonna be making music. But one of the things pet peeves I have about artists, particularly rappers in general, if you decide that you're gonna retire or whatever, you're not gonna make music. A lot of the times, most of the time, it's a lie. But I I prefer that over you promising an album or you saying you're working on shit and it never ever comes out. So at least with something like this, like it kind of tempers your expectations to like not expect anything versus the flip side of hey, a rapper might not have said they retired, but they're not making music, so it's kind of like a limbo state. And you're wondering if they ever do
Hmm.
it again. Where
You prefer the
this,
clarity opposed to like I'm just gonna fade out, but also so I might put out a teaser here and there.
yeah, yeah, that I hate that so much. So I'm if you change your mind after quote unquote quitting, I'm fine with that. Just make sure that when you do, you got some music to accompany that, and you're not falling into that same cycle where oh, I've actually returned and I'm making music, and months go by, and nothing comes out. So I'm not mad at this.
Got you, got you. What do you think, Ace? After seeing this long ass post, do you would this make you for when an artist says something like this? Do you believe that they are might be on their way exiting? And do you is there would you ever feel like hey it's good or an artist should quit?
I have no. Well, I shouldn't say I have no reason to not to believe that an artist um would that says they're quitting will be, but
You say you have no reason to believe that they will.
that they won't actually quit.
Oh,
Um,
is it? But it's the concept that like if you're a creative or you're an artist, it never really leaves you. So you like you're never gonna quit.
creative. As a former creative, it definitely can leave you.
Oh,
So,
sheesh. Well, whoa,
so yeah, I mean that's why I don't. I wouldn't necessarily put it
got
past
real.
someone saying, yeah, I wouldn't put it past someone saying they lost a passion. Yeah, I got no reason not to believe that you lost a passion. Like it can definitely go. Um, and
Even if you had some level of success in it.
yeah, yeah, it can go. Like
Damn.
I don't understand how people have so much creativity in general. Like so, like because leading up to a first project, that's your whole like that could be your whole life's build up to some like an idea you had that you were able to refine and make work and put out something incredible. Following up on that is mind-boggling that so many people can do it. So for somebody to say, I don't got it. Like I had that one, yeah, for sure, but or maybe two or three, but yeah,
I mean, I'm not. I'm no creative, but creativity is like a. It's an infinity sign. It's not like it's not limited. It's like it's uncapped. And it might get to a point where like you might get to a point where you're like Andre 3000 where like you feel as if there's nothing currently that you can really pull from that you can that leads to something you want to put out. But I don't think it just like goes away. Like we need West
It's
to come in this because I don't know if it goes or it can end.
yeah. I mean, I'm not a creative like that, but if you've been spending like Ace was saying, if you spent like 20, 25 years of your life building up to something and you're slowly filling up that creativity
I actually kind of do
bar
understand what you're saying.
and then you put it all out there, it's gonna take time to fill it back up again. Like it's
Hmm.
not just like once you have it, it's you can keep going back. Maybe some people can keep going back to the well, but a lot of people they empty it all in that one initial project.
yeah,
That analogy is actually kind of and I can visualize that actually.
yeah, and I don't, yeah, and I don't have, I don't wish like people would retire per se unless they're particularly grating on me, like, and I like they saturate what um just what I hear in general, um, then I might. But if they're not like if it's not somebody that's affecting me, I don't hear their music at all. I
You
don't
don't
got a
want all
problem.
these young female artists that are rapping about their you know what just to quit.
No, I'm not listening to it. So I
But because they're putting it out, you might end up bumping into it.
uh sure, I guess.
Fair enough.
But it's not.
In
Yeah,
this in
it's
this in
got to
this
be
day and
something that.
age, I think people have a lot of control over what you consume. So I will give you that.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Especially if you're not. Well, I'm not trying to out you. If you're going to the club every weekend, maybe you have less of a chance of it. If you're not doing that,
Yeah, if this
obviously.
was, for example, if this was still radio days, I was somebody that was liable to punch the radio. So,
Radio days.
but
We're fake old guys. When there was no aux cord, there was no Bluetooth. You listen to the radio.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. With the level of control, streaming services and all that, you don't have to really end up consuming. Again, if you're outside a lot, then maybe. But even that. All right. So I mean, you're somebody. So all right. So this is just literally just chatting at this point. We're almost done. So if Iggy came up to y'all and be like, "Y'all, I'm not feeling that passion anymore. I'm not feeling that creativity. I'm thinking about hanging it up." You're telling them, "Go ahead, and make that move," or you're being like, "Nah, come on. You're not telling them to stop." Ace, what
yeah.
are you doing?
I'm like, dang, I feel you. Like, you had a good run. I mean,
I feel you is crazy. You say I feel you. Iggy Azalea is crazy, or someone like we won't say her specifically, but what about you, Ghost? What are you telling somebody like Iggy with all the success? Keep in mind, you telling them they come to you and say, "I'm not feeling it anymore. The passion is gone. The creativity's capped. What should I do? You're telling them to stop?"
Do they make good music that I want to hear more?
That's always a subjective thing, but no, you don't. You're not fond of the music.
what's a slave driver?
I'm gonna tell them that you do you. If you're not feeling it, then feel free to just stop making
But they're asking you, what should I do? They're coming for
music.
you to advice. They don't want you do what you do want. They're asking you, what do you think I
Well,
should do?
no, didn't you just say that they said that they're not feeling it and they want to take a step back, right?
Yeah, are you gonna push them in the direction of, hey, no, you gotta keep cranking out
If
everything,
it's
or
bad music, hell no. I'm gonna affirm their beliefs and I'm gonna say, you know what? I think it's time. Just
what is
take a
bad?
long break, maybe a permanent break. Because
What
in
is
my
bad
mind, I'm gonna think
music?
we don't need to hear any more of that. But I'm not gonna say that out loud.
What is bad music? Because like whenever I think of that, even though we know what bad music is, I think of the J Cole bar. That I'm gonna mess up because I'm not as good as I used to be at quoting rappers. I used to be Rap Genius on demand, but he had a bar in his record with Big Crit where he's like sometimes I feel like scared to put out music, but putting that song could help somebody or somebody could thoroughly enjoy that song.
I don't care about somebody. I care about me. If I enjoy the music, to me is good music. So if I enjoy the music that this person puts out, I'm a say, hold on, you're being a little hasty here. I think you should revisit this and maybe go back to the drawing. I'm gonna give them a whole lot of good advice. But if it's music that I don't like, I'm gonna tell them,
Damn,
to chill out. You don't need to make any more of that. We good.
a man only
Pursue
after his own heart.
your other interests.
Yeah, man.
Know it.
There's one thing you gotta say about us: we keep it real, even if it makes us look bad. Fair enough. Obviously, this was a few months ago at this point, so or a couple months at this point. So and we haven't heard. I'm checking for it, but we haven't heard new music. So maybe they are taking that direction. If you want some context, I'm not gonna give the context. Salute to Iggy Azalea. They had they had a run that a lot of people aren't gonna have, and they have a baby by Playboi Carti. I don't know if that's a W or if it has nothing to do with the price of rights to music, but
Wait, really?
yes, but yeah, I mean they've achieved success that like nobody, like only like a handful of people I ever see, and they obviously are still able to. Well, they can live off their previous stuff, and they seem like they have passions of other stuff, or other areas. So it seems like they'll still be straight. Music just don't have to be it. And honestly, the music business seems like it's awful these days, this day and age. Like we were kind of scraping. I'm not saying we, but there was this period where it was like we were scraping for good music for last year. So like I don't know, bro. Anyway, so Iggy, I'll still say that. She used to have to defend herself so much. She was getting so much slander. She was a culture. They're saying she was a culture vulture, all type of stuff.
She got so much slander.
I'm surprised.
What was that? The freestyle, the "Look Out for Detox" one with where she was talking about slave masters, bro. That might have been the peak.
Yeah, she took a bar or a line from Kendrick's "Look Out for Detox" and tried to remix it. And Kendrick was saying something about like
he needs to put that track out. That's never happening, but
let's not. All right, that's when it's time to wrap it up. We're talking about unreleased Kendrick records.
Dog, it was so good. It was so good, but besides the point.
Yeah. So again, so it's the have a blast.